All right, so good evening to all of you, and a very warm welcome to day 26 of our intermediate Saj Yoga meditation course. So, uh, if you're here for the first time, or if you're a beginner, please let us know in the chat. You can send a message to the help desk. That's uh, in the chat drop down, and they will assign you to a breakout room where you can be helped catch up. Someone will help catch you up with all the things that we've done so far. All right, so yesterday we focused on the quality of innocence, awakening our Muladhara chakra, which is at the base of the spine. Today we are going one step higher, and we are going to be looking at the source of our self-realization, the energy that works it out, our own mother, our mother Kundalini. And to help with that, we have uh, fantastic meditation leads. I'm sorry, but words are failing me right now because I was in a state of deep meditation before I joined, and so I'm at a loss for words. So I do apologize for that. But we do have Sudeep Hegde with us here tonight. So Sudeep, welcome, and it's good to see you. And we also have Sylvia Udar. So we'll talk to Sudeep first. Sudeep, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hello, everybody. I live in Clemson, South Carolina, in the United States. I work at Clemson University. I'm an assistant professor in industrial engineering, and I have been doing Sahaja Yoga since 2008.
So, oh wow, it's approximately the same time that I started. So.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's interesting. 14 years.
And interesting. Wow. I started in Buffalo, New York, very close to Niagara Falls, which is right behind you. So.
Oh, I see. Should I? Great. So we'll talk more, Sudeep, during the feedback session tonight. Sylvia, welcome. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Sylvia. I'm originally from Austria, and I started meditating in the year 2000. I have been on this incredible journey. It's like still learning every day, growing, and it never stops. And when I just came to Sahaja Yoga, somebody told me an analogy that you can understand what is really Sahaja Yoga is that you have, you dig in the soil and you find a tiny like piece of gold. So you feel like you want to take it out. But at that moment, then you keep digging, and the gold is getting bigger and bigger, or the treasure is getting bigger and bigger, and you never stop digging. That's what Sahaja Yoga has done for me, and that what it still is doing for me. Yeah.
That's so nice. So beautiful. So you're also our musician for tonight, right? Could you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be playing for us?
Today I will play a little bit in the Indian flute. It's called Basuri. Mm-hmm. It's a rag for the heart. We are listening today. It's called Rag Durga. Yeah. Great. And we will also use the flute and the music to bring us deeper into meditation and to strengthen our attention.
Wow, that's amazing. So great. So let's get started. We'll get started with our foot soak first. So we're going to take a 1-minute break to get our foot soak equipment ready. And I'll see you all on the other side towards the end of the session.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all have your foot soak setup ready. So before we start the foot soak itself, let's just close our eyes. Make ourselves comfortable. And let's just allow our attention to settle down. Let's just witness the way we are feeling. The sensations on our hands. The state of our mind. The state of our breathing. Let's take a few deep and slow breaths. Breathe in. Hold for a second or two. And then breathe out slowly. And hold for a couple of seconds. Then breathe in. Throughout the rest of the meditation, let's try to keep our attention at the top of the head or in the space just above the head, above the seventh chakra. Now, let's begin, as we always do, by raising the Kundalini and then balancing the two sides 7 times with the bandhan. So we'll raise the Kundalini with nice slow hand movements, right rotating around the left, bringing it up and tying a knot over the head. Do it a second time. Let's enjoy this motion. Nice fluid motions, guiding the energy, guiding the Kundalini above. 2 knots the second time, and 3 knots the third time. Then balance 2 sides. Bring the right hand near the left hip. Raise the energy of the left triangle. Bring it all the way down to the right. Raise the energy of the right. Bring it all the way down to the left. Similarly, you balance all the chakras. Do this pair of arches 7 times in total. You might even feel that flow through your hands as you balance each chakra one by one. Now we can just bring the right hand a few inches over the head to see how we're feeling. If there is any subtle flow of cool or warm. Check with the other hand. Now, we will first vibrate the water by turning the right hand, rotating the right hand in a clockwise direction. But we keep our attention at the top of the head so that the vibrations flow through our hands into the water. This happens spontaneously with no effort required. So once you vibrated the water, let's now put our feet inside. Palms open on our lap. Place the right hand towards the earth. Let's feel a connection with Mother Earth. Let's feel that gratitude. Mother, thank you for supporting us, for nourishing us, for protecting us. Mother, please clear out my left energy channel. Please absorb all my conditionings, superficial desires, unnecessary memories and emotions. Clear my subconscious. And let the pure desire be awakened. Let me feel that innocent joy, the bliss of being the spirit. Let me be free of any identification with the past, or with anything other than the truth, which is the spirit. You can bring the right hand back on our lap, and we'll raise the left hand towards the sky to clear the right channel using the ether and air elements. Let all the excess heat produced in my right energy channel because of all thinking, all mental and physical activity, let it escape. Let it escape into the ether. Let my right channel be cooled down. Let my attention become steady. Let it be soothed by the cool breeze of the snow-capped mountains. Soft coolness of the moonlight. Let my attention become subtler and deeper. Let my attention bring down the left hand. You can let both hands point towards the earth, hanging by your side. Let any remaining blockages preventing my ascent, preventing the ascent of the Kundalini in me, be absorbed into the elements. That any negativity anywhere in my system be drawn out, absorbed into the elements. Let my channels and my chakras be clear and balanced. We can bring our hands back on our lap. Let's sit for a minute, silently being aware of the state of our vibrations on our hands. Keep our attention at the top of the head. We can now remove our feet from the water, rinse them off. We just set aside the foot soak bucket and come back to our seats. Right, let's continue meditating. The theme for today's meditation is that sacred energy, Kundalini. As we have already learned in this series so far, the Kundalini is a sacred, mothering, nourishing energy that resides in the sacrum bone, the triangular bone, at the base of the spine. The Kundalini represents our own desire, the desire to realize the self, to become connected. So let's experience the flow of the Kundalini in meditation. You can either close your eyes or look at Shri Mataji's photograph. Once again, let's see how we're feeling on our hands. Both hands feel the same. They feel balanced. Is there a tingling, a numbness anywhere on the hands or fingertips? Just be aware of whatever you're feeling without reacting to it. Let's keep our attention at the top of the head. What we all have felt over the last series and the current one, that flow, cool or the warm breeze over the head, all the sensations around our fingertips and hands, is all the result of the flow of the Kundalini. This happens when we are self-realized, when our own Kundalini is no more dormant, but is awakened, has penetrated through the seventh center, the Sahasrara, and established a connection with the whole, with the all-pervading power. Now, initially, only a few strands of this energy may make it through. But as we keep meditating, keep clearing out our chakras, balancing out our energy channels, as we keep going deeper, more and more strands of this energy make their way through. the flow, the experience of the flow continues to increase. Become cooler. During really deep meditations, one may even experience a gush, accompanied by a profound feeling of peace within. A peace that can be felt even physically. Now, this is a completely spontaneous process. We do nothing except express that desire. The energy does all the work. It knows where to go, how to correct our chakras. So now that we've had our self-realization and achieved this new level of awareness, realize this new level of awareness, it is up to us now to respect this energy, respect this state of realization, to nurture it, and to go deeper. So let's just bring the right hand in front of the first chakra, the abdomen, and we'll raise it slowly along that central channel, along the spine, in front of your body, all the way to the top of your head, above your head. What we're doing here is guiding the flow of the Kundalini through our central channel. Let's do this a few times. Let's do it at least 3 times. And see if you're able to feel that energy over your head as you bring it up with the hand. Now let's just sit in silent meditation for a few minutes, enjoying this state. The Kundalini is now above the Sahasrara. Let's just keep our attention there. attention has drifted into a thought, gently let it go, bring it back to the top. The state of self-realization is not an intellectual state. It's not a state of the mind, but it is when you let go of the mind that it just happens. So let's now listen to a talk by Shri Mataji, where she talks about the Kundalini, the characteristics of the Kundalini. And let's take a moment to also appreciate the significance of Sahaja Yoga. This energy and this state of self-realization, cool breeze that many of us are feeling now, has been written about in various scriptures and spiritual traditions all over the world centuries ago. It has come to fruition now where anybody is able to experience it, and one realized person is able to give the state of realization to another, like a candle lighting another candle. So this was made possible by Shri Mataji. Let's listen to a talk.
Self-realization is self-knowledge. And the one who gives you self-knowledge is this your own Kundalini. Because when she rises, she points it out what are the problems on your chakras. Now, we say that it is pure desire. But we do not know what purity means. It means your chaste desire. It means it has no lust, greed, anything in it. That power is your own mother and is settled in your triangular bone. She is your own mother. She knows everything about you. It's like a tape recorder. She knows everything about you. And she is absolutely the knowledge. because she's so pure. And whatever chakras she touches, she also knows what's wrong with that chakra beforehand. So she is quite prepared and she adjusts herself fully so that you do not get a problem by her awakening. If any chakra is constricted, she waits and goes on slowly opening that chakra. Now this Kundalini is the primordial power which is reflected within you. And within you, in a human being, it is like many strands of energy. So it's like a rope. And these energies are all twisted together to form this Kundalini. In a human being, these strands are 3 into 7, that is 21, raised to power 108. But when your Kundalini rises, 1 or 2 strands out of this come up and pierce the fontanelle bone area. Only 1 or 2. Because it has to pass through the innermost nadi, known as Brahma Nadi. It's all a spiral throughout, because Kundalini is a spiral and these nadis are also like a spiral, like this. So the innermost nadi is the Brahma Nadi. The outermost nadi is the right side. And the second innermost is the Ida Nadi. So through the Brahma Nadi, she starts sending those threads. By that, they relax the center. By the relaxation of the center, the sympathetic nervous system also starts relaxing. And when it goes to the Agya chakra, then your eyes start relaxing, your pupils start dilating, and your eyes can become like mine, very black, absolutely relaxed. So you can easily see in a person how far is the Kundalini. If it has pierced the Agya, then the eyes will be completely dilated and will be shiny. And then she enters into the Sahasrara. Now it is absolutely pure light of knowledge, love, compassion and attention. All these 3 things are in that energy. We know of many energies like electrical energy, we know of light energy, we know of other energies. But these energies cannot think. They cannot adjust. They cannot work on their own. They are to be handled by us. But this energy itself is the living energy and knows how to handle itself. It thinks. If you see a seed being sprouted, you'll find at the tip of the seed there's a small little cell which knows how to go around the soft places and then how to encircle the stones and then how to find its way to the source. That cell has got, I would say, a little Kundalini in it, the way it moves. But within you is a tremendous force of Kundalini exists. So you have a storehouse of compassion which can be enlightened by the Spirit. You have the storehouse of love, compassion, and knowledge, and ocean of forgiveness. When people get realization, they do not understand that they have to now grow. And why they don't grow? Because they do not ask for these energies. A person who is a realized soul, if he says that I have to have more compassion, my compassion is not all right. My concern about others is not all right. My generosity is not all right. I'm exploiting others. I'm exploiting their love. Then this energy starts moving, giving you that greater dimension of love and compassion. But if you do not want to be growing in your awareness, then she says, all right, he is a half-baked Sajogi, let it be. She doesn't supply that energy which is stored within you. I told you, 3 into 7, that is 21 raised to power 108. So what a storage you have within yourself. But because of your mundane style of thinking and asking, in the beginning when I started Sahaja Yoga, people used to ask for, say, jobs, or for my mother is sick or a father is sick, or they would ask for money or something like that. So these wants are not pure wants. As we know in economics, they are not pure wants. They are impure wants, because they are never satiable in general. So this Kundalini, that is your mother, she is there to supply you, nourish you, to look after you, to make you grow. By giving you a higher personality.
Let us stay in meditation for another couple of minutes. Let us slowly open our eyes. Now we can check in our hands. How do we feel compared to the beginning when we started the meditation? How did you feel before the foot soak, after the foot soak, and after Shri Mataji's talk? What Shri Mataji explained about the Kundalini energy is it is a very gentle energy, a motherly energy. So a mother will never do anything to harm us, but it will nourish us. And the Kundalini looks like a rope. So the 3 into 7, which is 21, raised to the power of 108. And that's how many strands are there. We don't know how many strands have risen so far of our own Kundalini. But every time we meditate and they are thoughtless, more and more strands are really rising up. When I started meditating, in the beginning, I could not feel anything. I did not feel in my hands. I just relied on what the people told me when I went for meditation class. Later I learned I was more a right-sided person. But that one evening, somebody led the meditation and I sat in the very back and suddenly I feel like a wind, which is like this big wind in my hands, cool wind. And I was really like shocked because I could not understand what is happening to me. And it was November, there was no window open, there was no fan on. So out of not feeling anything, suddenly this experience that it went beyond belief, it made me really experience, and that becomes a memory. So whenever you feel your Kundalini, any movement, it can be sometimes a small sensation even, it becomes a memory, and that makes your meditation stronger every time because you remember, you want to feel like that again. And from that, you want to go deeper into that feeling. We will meditate today again with the flute. And during the meditation, we'll also listen to a small piece of flute. Learning an instrument is, for me, really pure meditation. So you will hear, I will play a very straight sound. It should be, sound is a frequency. So a frequency has waves, as I explained earlier in the beginning, but we want to have it like complete straight sound. So what does that mean to our attention? If I'm thinking a lot, I can't play flute. So I have to balance myself first before sometimes we practice, we think to what the teacher says. My teacher is Shaktidhar, he will come back later, I think on Thursday. But when we really play the flute, we let the vibrations play. That means we have to be thoughtless, and then the music carries the vibrations. So let us try. We can keep our hands back on the lap and close our eyes. If any thought still comes into your attention, you can either say, not this, not this. So like clouds flow by, you just see the clouds, they're flowing by, but you don't hold on to any of the clouds. Or you can say, I surrender. Or you can say, I forgive. every sound, take your attention deeper within yourself. And focus on your Mother Kundalini. With every sound, one or two more strands arising. We can keep our eyes closed. Take our right hand along the center channel and slowly, gently raise our Kundalini from Muladhara to Sahasrara a few times. Mother Kundalini, please strengthen our Kundalini. Please strengthen our attention. Please let more and more strands of our Kundalini rise up. You can keep your right hand on top of the head a few inches away. See if you feel the cool breeze coming out of your head. This is where we want to keep our attention. This much high above our Sahasrara chakra. We don't want to fall down. We want to always stay there. We can keep the right hand back on the lap. So tomorrow, when you go about your day, always remember, I want to be there above the Sahasrara with my focus and attention. And this is when you truly grow deeper into your own self. Start using every moment of your day the Kundalini energy. She doesn't leave you. She doesn't stay at home when you go out. She's always with you. Anytime, anywhere. We just have to remember her. There are situations throughout the day we might not be in a happy place. But at that moment, always remember, just touch your Sahasrara gently. And ask your Mother Kundalini, please come back to my Sahasrara. Please let me stay in balance. In the beginning, we have to put that effort, our whole everything we take within and we remember. So from tomorrow on, you remember every time. My Kundalini is with me any moment. We will listen now to a little bit of flute music. By listening, we can keep our right hand on our heart and request Mother Kundalini, please open our heart. You can say this affirmation a few times. And then again, just try to be thoughtless. In the silence we are, let us slowly raise our Kundalini energy and take abundance. When you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes.
So, thank you so much, Sylvia, for that wonderful flute meditation and then your piece as well. It's really beautiful. And thank you so much to Sudeep as well for his wonderful meditation and foot soak. So we will meet both Sudeep and Sylvia during the feedback session. Let us take care of the announcements first. So for tomorrow, we are going to be looking at our Swadhisthana chakra, the second energy center, which gives us our divine creativity. So then let us look at the resources that we have for all of you. So we, as usual, stress on the website. Under the See All Resources tab, we have all the handouts available. And even otherwise, under the sessions tabs, we have all the recorded sessions of the beginners 21 days as well as the current intermediate session. We also have for you a new handout that is going to be shared with all of you in the chat box. And this handout contains all the affirmations for clearing the chakras. So it's a really neat presentation with affirmations for the left, right, and center of each of the 7 chakras. So keep that handout with you in a folder or on your computer, or you can print it out and keep it in a place where it is handy. And the more you practice with it, the easier it becomes to remember these affirmations. And then you can, over time, become very much used to these affirmations, and you won't need to look to a paper or a PDF to remember what they are. So we also, again, would like to stress on you joining a WhatsApp group if you haven't already. The link will be posted in the chat. And if you haven't already, do ask for a mentor on one of those groups. So if we could go to the next slide. It's really important to have this mentor because they are going to give you a really personal guidance, which may not be available on a platform such as the Zoom meeting, because we have to address a very general public, and so we have to take care of everyone's needs. So it may happen that problems that are particular to you, experiences that are particular to you, may be better shared with just another person instead of the whole group. So do complete the survey form in the chat, and we will assign you a mentor shortly. And please be sure to give your details, the relevant details in the form. All right, so let's look at the next slide. So for our Spanish speakers, as usual, we have a Spanish breakout room. So please do join the Spanish breakout room if you want, and someone will help you out in Spanish. So now is our feedback time. Again, if you would like a one-on-one session with another yogi, let us know in the chat, and you can send a chat message to the help desk, and they will assign you to a breakout room with a yogi, a research yoga practitioner. And if you would like to speak up in the main room here, do raise your hand so I can see you very clearly, and we'll take the session from there. So that's the boring part is done. Let's move on. So we have our leads, Sudeep and Sylvia, and we are also going to be joined by Mark, who's here. So if Mark is here.
Hello.
Hey, nice to see you. How are you doing tonight?
Doing very well. The music was amazing. I'd never really had a meditation that moved on each of the strands of the Kundalini being brought up by a musical note.
That is true. Even I had never experienced this before. So I think we should really have Sylvia on every day, perhaps. So there is a new strand of the Kundalini.
I don't know so many songs.
21 raised to 108 songs. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let us begin our feedback. So we have Sonal with a question. So Sonal, would please turn on your video and unmute yourself and let us know what your question is.
So I wanted to know, usually I have the vibration like a circle in the middle, but today on the right side, I had it in the middle of the finger and right here.
Mhm.
And I have never felt that. So what could be the indication for that?
Okay. So Mark, if you could answer that.
Do you mean at the base of the fingers?
Yeah, so a little bit like go around right here, and then it was going on all the finger except the thumb.
Huh. All right. Well, maybe Sudeep or Sylvia can help me out. What I was told many years ago is that this is your parents, and
Okay.
it could be that, you know, we're working out things that have happened in our life, but also we're working out things actually helping to clear out our parents as well. So it might feel a blockage, and as we're meditating, it's actually helping their subtle system as well.
Well, they both are deceased.
Right. So then it could be something residual, some
Okay.
influence from the fact that they raised you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, again,
But
important.
but that Bansuri was awesome, Sylvia. Really. That, I mean, I was just like, you keep playing and I keep listening.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, what I want to add to when we feel something in the hands, we don't have to overanalyze also. So we
Right.
again let it go. So, okay, I feel this in the hand. Again, you can say a prayer or an affirmation to your mother Kundalini. Okay, I feel this today. Whatever it is, please clear it out so that I feel
Yeah.
again only the cool breeze.
Yeah.
That's
That's what
the
I
easiest
did.
way to just let the things go. Over time, you're just meditating like really short time, right? So over
No,
time, you learn all the
I've been actually
knowledge.
meditating since last 2 years and regularly last 3 months.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was so jittery and so shaky before I started. And now I'm so calm and like everything. That's what I told Mother, that I have surrendered myself to you and just help me out, clear anything. You are the doer and I'm the follower. You know what bothering me and just take care of it.
Yeah, that's the best. Yes, wonderful.
Okay.
You're on an
Okay.
awesome
Thank you.
path. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you for your question, Sonal.
All
So,
right.
before we move on to the next question, I would like to request Sudeep to share maybe some personal experience of his with Sahaja Yoga, if he has something for us.
Yeah, there have been several little experiences along the way. So I started Sahaja, like I said, in 2008, and it's funny. I had been seeking a spiritual path of my calling, if you will, in India for several years through my teens. And in all those years of searching and exploring, I had never heard of Sahaja Yoga. And then just a few months before leaving for the US, I started playing cricket. Well, I was always playing cricket, but I started attending a camp in the city of Nasik in India. And the cricket coach was a Sahaja Yogi. He used to make everybody play meditate before practice at 7 in the morning. So I used to just sit with them. So I didn't really feel much, almost nothing at all, really, at that point. But just talking to him, the whole concept of Sahaja Yoga really appealed to me. Something seemed to make sense. So I came to Buffalo, New York for graduate studies after that. I met someone who had been doing this for a long time. And once I started meditating with him, I distinctly felt that cool breeze. And I was like, oh, this is what everybody's talking about. So it's true. So then it was just a wonderful journey of meditating with him and others after that, regularly and going deeper. But my sort of approach was always intellectual. That's, I guess, just the way I'm made. So a lot of thinking, a lot of rationalizing, trying to understand it logically and so on, which itself is an impediment to getting what you seek spiritually. So while I was feeling this, and these experiences definitely kept me going, there were all, doubts wouldn't stop. Yeah, but what about, could this be something happening neurologically or something like that? And then when I decided to just let go once, I think this was in 2011, just a day or two after Shri Mataji's passing. Actually, I was sitting in a class and kind of paying attention to the lecturer, but not really, but definitely not meditating. All of a sudden, at around 10:15 in the morning, I felt my Kundalini just shoot through my Sahasrara. Like it just forced its way through. And I was suddenly taken aback and became alert and was wondering what's happening. And then once I got out of class, I learned that she has just passed away. I had never, of course, met her in person, but it was at that time that I felt it. And that sort of really woke me up and made me realize that, we are all connected, that, this energy is truly a living energy. And then some wonderful experiences followed that in the next few days, including a feeling of really, really profound peace, where I was just walking somewhere and I felt my consciousness just merge with everything around me, and it felt like there was no bone here, just for a second or two, and it went away. But it was more real than this conscious state. So, experiences, one-off experiences like that, sort of helped me establish my realization better, I think, and keep me going. So it was a glimpse into what is possible. So we barely scratched the surface. That is what I understood.
That's so beautiful. And I think through your narration, we also got a glimpse of something that we haven't seen before. So thank you so much for that. All right, so let's move on to our next question. Carolina, could you please turn on your video and let us know?
I am in my desktop. I don't have a camera. I'm sorry.
No worries. Please go ahead. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I just joined slightly late and kind of in the middle of the talk on Shri Mataji, and I was very interested, but I couldn't follow along in reference to the significance of the number 108, 108, or how these chakras or nadis convert into this particular number. So I'm just curious about it. Maybe you can help me to clarify.
Sure. So any one of our leads, if you would like to take this question, what is the significance of 108?
So what Shri Mataji explained is, she said 3 into 7. So we have the 3 main channels, and then we have the 7 energy centers or chakras. So 3 into 7 is 21.
Yes.
And raised to the power of 108. I'm not fully aware of all the numerology, but in India, 108 is considered an auspicious number or a holy number. And these are very fine strands, right? It's just help us with a mental picture how the Kundalini could look like and what is possible. So it is like unending source of energy within us. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I just don't understand the math between, of course, the 7 chakras and the 3 channels. I am trying to tie this up. I'm sorry, I'm an accountant by training, and that's probably the reason why I have this question in my mind, trying to tie up the numbers and understand where it comes from. Because I have heard about 108 in many cultures. But I that's what I was interested in understanding, what was the perspective from Sahaja Yoga in this particular number. But thank you so much. Yes.
So Carolina, what you can try when you meditate next time, you sit and be in silent meditation and you ask your Mother Kundalini, what is really the meaning behind it? Like you can put your attention on it and meditate on it.
Okay,
And
that's a great idea. Actually,
you will feel the
mind
answer within yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, probably my mind will be searching for that tonight through sleep.
Yeah. So see if when you meditate, we are so used to certain thought patterns, right? You're used to the math because you're doing accounting, so you have a lot to do with numbers. When you hear numbers, automatically your mind tries to process the numbers. When we meditate, you just say, okay, I leave all the numbers behind. Just let me feel, let me experience the meaning of the deep meaning within myself of this number, not the mental math of it.
I understand. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's a great input. Thank you.
So that was really nice, Sylvia. So Sylvia, would you mind telling us a little bit about your own experiences with Sahaj Yoga and any stories that you would like to share with us tonight?
I would like to share one experience which happened in a program. So it was a music program. Shri Mataji was on the stage. It was in 2006 in Los Angeles. And I was part of the music group, and we are playing some music for Shri Mataji. And that time I was not playing the Indian flute. I was playing the metal flute, the Western metal flute. And somebody gifted on the stage a metal flute to Shri Mataji. So we have seen Shri Mataji receiving gift many times. So she would look at it, or then Shri Mataji would also put attention on the person or on the country whenever it is offered. And a flute has the meaning more for our Vishuddhi chakra, for our 5th energy center. The sweetness, we want to talk sweet or say something which is pleasing to others, not use anger or aggression. And so I'm playing the music, I'm looking on the stage to Shri Mataji, and at that moment, she's taking the flute to her lips and she blows in it. And that wind she's blowing suddenly comes out of my Vishuddhi chakra, like as if there's like a tornado of air coming out of my Vishuddhi chakra. It was this big, you can imagine. It's hard to explain, but that this wind came out of my Vishuddhi chakra, and I was completely like frozen for a second. Like, what is happening? What's going on? first I didn't know how to react, but something definitely happened, and after that my Vishuddhi chakra was way more clear. And also that whenever I play flute, I just ask that Mother Kundalini within me to carry the vibrations and not to play anything with my ego or super ego. And every time I take the flute, still I just ask Mother Kundalini, just please carry the vibrations of it. So after this experience, that's my only desire, that you should all you should all feel the vibrations of it, because music has so many intricacies, right? And small notes and details about the rhythm and the connection with the tabla, which you heard also. But that's not important. What is pleasing to the listener is when you feel the vibrations. So.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a very profound experience also.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to our next question. Imelda, Imelda, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself.
Unmute. I missed the entire program tonight. I've really only been here for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
I could not connect. And so could you, and I also have difficulty trying to find the tell me how to get this program so I can look at it again, because I have trouble getting back into a program to replay it, please.
Okay. So the YouTube recording will be available once this session is done. And then we will post it. I'll send you a personal message on WhatsApp with the YouTube recording.
All right, that's fine. Thank you so much.
But in the meantime, would you like to go to a breakout room so that someone can help you because you missed most of today's session?
Yes, that'd be lovely. That'd be absolutely great. Thank you so much.
So if our tech team could please assign Imelda to a breakout room, that would be great.
Thank you. Thank you, Vivek.
All right, so let us listen to one more experience. So Mark, do you have some stories to share?
I have a few stories, or as Sylvia put it so eloquently, they become memories and they sustain you, because there are so many days when you're not in meditation, but then you can remember that if I meditate, I may experience that same amazing state again. I am a note taker, and so I'm surrounded by notebooks. I have so many notebooks, I take notes. That's what I do. And when I was avidly seeking in my teens and early 20s, I took notes on all the books I read, seeking the truth. So I went to India and met Shri Mataji, and knew nothing about Saj Yoga, knew nothing about her. And of course, everything she said was connecting all the dots. Like I was an avid seeker of truth, of making sense of everything. Couldn't make sense of anything. I felt like I was from another planet. What a strange planet I arrived on. Anyway, I was taking all these notes, and Shri Mataji looked over at me and she said, "Oh, you're taking notes. Good idea." And what I discovered and appreciated, maybe a little bit at the time, but especially later, was that she knew that she couldn't reach me through my spiritual seeking because I was an atheist. She knew she couldn't reach me through my heart because my heart was broken. It was like in little pieces from a terrible life experiences before I met Shri Mataji. So her only way to give vibrations to me and work on my Kundalini was through my intellect. So I noticed that over the course of a seminar, which was called a Shibir in Maharashtra, that every time she could have used the word God, she said the word truth. And I noticed that she was finding a way for me to be completely open to receive her vibrations, her love, and the transformative power of my own Kundalini starting to work and clear me out, without me coming up with any resistance at all. And so I was just like, wow, let me make another note. Wow, that's amazing. She's connecting psychology and how people get healed and how they don't get healed and evolution and so many aspects of my inquiries into how does everything fit together. And she was fitting everything together. And then at some point, after spending about a month with her, then she could then just go directly to my sasrara. And I was completely relaxed. You know, she never said, oh, you're thinking too much, you're so intellectual. Instead, she completely allowed me to be exactly how I was in the state that I could accept pure divine love, which was basically through beginning to get an inkling that it is so beyond any small concept I could possibly hold, and that any understanding I thought I had, I realized that I had to just put it to one side and open myself to receive some immense truth. And then I finally could learn a new vocabulary that all the good feeling in my body, all my cells going, this is really good, this is really good. I finally could find the word for that, which was, that was love.
So profound.
So when can we read your book with all the notes?
The big stack of diaries.
Okay, great. So Dinesh, please go ahead with what you would like to say.
Yeah, just unmuted. So Vivek, yeah, I finally joined, but the meditation was good. Sudeep did good, and Sylvia, obviously, you know, the music that you played, you know, it kind of touches all the chakras, and it was really beautiful. Just came on. I was planning to come on. I don't have questions, but when Carolina asked about 108, so yeah, it's a number that has lots and lots of meanings, but one of the ones that I like, and you can research on your own, is, so this Brahmand, this universe, has some numbers that are like in nature. So this number 108 is, so if you take the diameter of the earth and multiply it 108 times, that's how far the sun is from the earth. And I know it's elliptical, but yeah, you can do your own research and do the diameter of the earth, and 108 times is a sun. Now that's not that profound, but the diameter of the moon and 108 times is how far the earth is from the moon.
Yeah.
So those two facts coupled together makes 108. And there's lots and lots of other numbers in the universe, scientifically proven, that has a significance, which is 108. And the other thing is that the Jap Mala that most of the Hindus have, that has a 109 beads. So 108 are the Jap ones, and one is hanging off, which is the end.
I see.
So majority of the other faiths that have a Jap Mala will be a 100. The ones based in Hindu is 108, if you ever notice, if you ever count. So I think that's, and this is only a couple of explanations, but there's like hundreds and hundreds of explanations of the number 108. So Carolina, if you're still listening, or you can watch, that's what it means to me. So
great. Thank you so much for that explanation, Dinesh.
yeah.
And Carolina, I hope that appealed to some part of you. She's in line for the next question, so might as well.
Oh yeah, the accountant in her probably like, you know. Thank you.
Yeah. Carolina, you had another question for us?
Yes, really quick, Vivek. Thank you so much, Danish, for that explanation. I was aware of some of those correlations, but yesterday I joined the meditation and they did explain the Muladhara chakra. And I was wondering if you guys are planning to go through each chakra in the same way, because I found a fascinating explanation of that particular chakra and the connections. So I was thinking that you probably will follow the sequence, but I don't know, it might have been an isolating episode.
No. We are going to follow the sequence. So tomorrow we are going to be looking at the second center, which is above the Kundalini. And then we'll go to the third and then fourth and till the seventh. Then after
Awesome.
that, yeah.
Thank you so much. I don't want to take more time because I did it, but I forgot to ask the second part of the question, but thank you.
All right. Okay.
Thank
Great.
you. Bye.
All right. So I don't see any others raising their hands. If someone would like to share an experience that they had over these 21 days, or or they have any questions they would like to ask, please go ahead. Shreya. So Shreya, go ahead.
Hi everyone. Yeah, so real quick question. So the very first time I did Surge Yoga meditation was with Mark and Linda via their Saturday session, the Charlotte Zoom session. So I had this question since a long time, but I forgot to ask in some of the sessions. So when we clear out our right channel and we place our hand to be cleared in the ether, I noticed that and I was pretty sure I had taken bath and my hands were smelling of bath soap, but some kind of foul smell was not so pleasant smell was coming outside of this palm. So I just wanted to ask what really was that and I noticed it after after some time after meditation.
So Mark, you are the best person to answer this.
It's not in any of my notebooks, Shreya. I have no idea why there would be a smell. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. Would any of our other leads like to answer this? Sudeep or Sylvia?
I'm not sure about this. I also have never experienced smell coming out of the hand. I have a positive, I observed somebody else having a positive fragrance of rose coming out of the hands. That was in Italy at an event, and my friends, there was a small Ganesha a small statue of Ganesha. Ganesha is that child god. It has an elephant head and the body of a child. And they were cleaning that statue with rose water. And then the next day I see her and she said, "Smell my hand." The next day, smell my hand. And then that rose water fragrance would come out of her hand and she would go to everyone, "Smell my hand." How can... So somehow cleaning that statue, or I don't know what it was exactly, that the next day the smell was coming out of her hand, the fragrance, So if it is a smell which is not pleasant, probably it's a deep clearing, or maybe even your body works in different ways that it releases the toxins through the hand.
Okay.
That's the only explanation. But did it happen only one time or frequently?
Yeah, just once. Yeah, the very first time. Yeah.
And after that experience, did you feel more calm or more quiet? Was there any change within yourself that you see, okay, something really left me? Or
yeah, it was for the very first time. So I was kind of astonished with the air, the flow coming out. So I didn't really realize what happened after that. But yeah, my mind was into that, the flow, attached to the flow. Yeah. So but probably, that could be it. It must be clearing out something, and because it didn't last for long, it was just for few seconds after the meditation was done. So yeah. Cool. Thank you very much.
Something to add?
Yeah, it definitely sounds like some sort of clearing, because Also, when you do the foot soak, if you haven't experienced this already, you can sometimes feel heat coming out of your feet into the water, which clearly shows that something is clearing out the chakras. So, and once that happens, you feel a better flow, a cooler flow. So it might be something like that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for your question, Shreya. So we have a very experienced yogi here, Nibir. Welcome. Would you like to share something with us tonight?
Yeah, hello everyone. So I raised my hand because I think I had something similar, what Shreya asked about, and it happened, and it even happens like now and then with my foot soak. So let's say I haven't foot soak for a couple of days, or due to being busy with work or something like that. I've noticed that when I foot soak after, a lag, then the foot soak water smells foul. And I noticed it over. So I have this, and I did this like experiment a few times just to, be sure whether it's statistically significant or not. And I found that, well, so I did an experiment where I did not foot soak for 3 days and, over like a few weeks. And every time when I didn't foot soak, and then after that gap, I used to foot soak, I used to feel that, a foul smell of the foot soak water. And then I would foot soak again, it won't be there. And I also like took care that my feet are not sweaty or anything, like it's not coming out of, any body odor, because I used to wash my feet with soap and everything and then do the foot soak. But still I would, like if I had some gap in my meditation or foot soak, I would see that in my, or smell that foul thing in my foot soak water. So like everyone pointed out, I also thought maybe it's some kind of clearance, because after that I wouldn't feel anything, I'd feel blissful. But I think that's what could have happened.
All right. Thank you so much, Nibir, for that insight.
So Nibir, how often do you foot soak now?
I foot soak almost every day, but sometimes, like working late in the lab and coming back, I'm like too tired, and I just happen to just meditate and then sleep, and not, sometimes laziness takes over and I'm like, okay, today I won't foot soak. So if it happens for, a couple of days or so, and then I foot soak on the third day, I can feel that. And the other thing is my body is very sensitive to, not foot soaking, because if I don't foot soak, I get, like breakouts in my skin, or, like, what do you call those ulcers in your mouth, which are basically an indication of heat in the liver. So like my body is very sensitive to foot soak, so I have to foot soak. It's not that, like I have to do it because Shri Mataji says it or something like that. It's just that if I need to be healthy, I need to foot soak. So that's why I have to foot soak almost every day.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so thank you, Nibir, for your insights, and that was really helpful. Yeah. So based on a bunch of other posts that I have received in the background, sometimes while clearing out, this has been a common experience, at least for some people who have managed to record it, that when certain kinds of negativities within us get discharged from our body through the subtle system, they do emit some kind of a bad smell, and that's according to these people, these experiences that I've received. That does tend to happen sometimes. So that's all that is. And if it happens to you during your meditation, just try to ignore it, and it'll pass away soon, and you don't have to bother too much about it. So yeah, that was really interesting. Interesting point for us to discuss tonight. Okay, so
Elaine had a question. She was raising her hand.
Who was that? Sorry?
Elaine.
Elaine, please go ahead. If you have a question. Or she's where she has, I think they assigned her to a breakout room, perhaps.
Oh.
Um, does anyone else have any experience or a question to ask? Okay, so it seems like we are close to the end of the session. So before we leave, I would just like to ask Mark for one more of his stories because he said he had quite a few. So just one more and then we can conclude the session for tonight.
Actually, I have one question for Mark.
Please, yeah.
Mark, how many times did you go to India?
Oh, quite a few. I may forget all the years, but I called them by the January. That was the year that I would call the tour, would be the January. So 82, 83, 84, 90, 94, maybe 98, 99. And then the last visit was just to a health center, and that was in 2002. So all my experiences are of an India that almost does not exist anymore. Things like 2-lane roads and malls and things like that were just beginning my last few visits to India. But in the other days, in the early 80s, most of the rural roads were 1 lane. So trucks and buses and cars had to be very polite and amenable. And the first thing I learned about Indian traffic was that in Indian traffic in the early 80s, there were no private motor vehicles. They were all driven by a professional driver. So you either had a taxi or you had a company car with a driver, or you were in a trishaw or a truck. And so what I figured out was that in India, you don't use brakes. You just use the horn.
That is true even to this day.
Well, let's see. Okay, once I asked somebody who'd been doing Saj Yoga for longer than me, which might have been like 6 months or a few years, because it was still very early days, just how frustrating it is to have to deal with all the accumulated negativity, all the problems and confusions, and not feeling like you really fit anywhere. And so I said to this person, you mean maybe you just kill yourself and just end all that frustration and misery? And they said to me such a wise answer. They said, you'll just come back at the same level of evolution. That the only way you can evolve, and now evolutionary theory has shown this, that it has to be in a form that in this life, with all its difficulty, all its challenges, all those moments when you think it's not working, the foot soak water is not working, or Saj Yoga is not working, that this is your chance. This is the lifetime to face whatever it is that you need to face, and just be very persistent and reach out to dear brothers and sisters who are with you, Sudeep and Sylvia and Vivek, and just say, meditate with me and put your attention on my subtle center, and that this power of pure love works. And it might take a long time, but Saj Yoga eventually heals all the brokenness. I can speak from personal experience. And it's just continually moving upwards and upwards and expanding and expanding. So I still have new experiences, things I've never felt before in Saj Yoga, that finally I'm ready for that new awakening. So the phrase that comes to my mind is, how good can you stand it? Because it just seems to get better and better. And meditating with children in a school a few years ago, and this little boy felt it. He had his hand over his head. He was in thoughtless awareness. All I had told him was to put his hand over his head. That's all I told him. No explanations. And he could feel it so strongly. And so we were meditating together. There was like 4 or 5 children and I sitting there. and we're just sitting there and we're in such total bliss, complete thoughtlessness. So this little boy jumps up, runs away, grabs the arm of his friend and drags him back and says, "You have to feel this." And it was like sitting with Shri Mataji in India, to be in that school with these children, in which it was the complete absence of any thought, any darkness, any problems. It was just the complete silence and the bliss. So to me, that's a miracle, that I was certainly not at some high level of spiritual ascent. I still had all my own things I was still working on, but that somehow this amazing process of the Kundalini awakens the Kundalini in others. So you can sit down with somebody and say, "Hey, put your hand over your head." And they might say, "What are you doing?" And you say, "I'm not doing anything." It's just like the candle gets close to the other candle, it lights the candle.
Wow. It's really a beautiful note to end this session on. And as Mark suggested, if you would like to just meditate, if you're just feeling down someday or hyper excited on the other or something like that, and you feel that you would just like to meditate, do not hesitate to contact any of us, your mentor especially, and just let us know that we would like to meditate. That's all. There's no other reason needed. So please feel free to do that. We would be more than happy to help you. And thank you so much for coming tonight. We'll see you all tomorrow, where we are going to be discussing the second energy center. And do not forget to empty your foot soak bowl tonight. So thank you so much for coming. Good night and have a great week ahead of you. Bye.